It is now 27 minutes after the hour of 11 a.m. in Soufriere Solution, of course, the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning, good morning, good morning once again. As I did promise you earlier on, we have in a studio this morning, that is Mr. Franklin Solomon, Program Facilitator. We have Nehemiah Asa Seja, Facilities Manager, and we have the coach as well. Mr. Jason August. For some reason, it's just a bit of a strange face that I am not too familiar with the name as well. But with that being said, it's been a wonderful morning, and I must say it's a pleasure as well to have. I feel privileged to be in the midst of three awesome individuals, and they will share a little with us as to why they're here today. Good morning to both of you guys. Well, good morning to the trio. It's awesome having you here, and of course, cladded in green, and green speaks moolah for sure. So blessings, blessings, blessings. Individually, just a little snippet of who you are to our listening audience.
Okay, so if I may start, I'm not sure if I was afforded the opportunity, but I'll take it anyways. So I am Franklin Solomon. I am the Facilities and Program Facilitator for the Nick Trubetskoy Boxing and Youth Development Program. We are here this morning primarily to speak to the value of this program and the opportunities that have been presented to our young persons within the Soufriere Basin.
Thank you so much. Mr. Jason.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me. My name is Jason August. I am the boxing coach assigned to the program, and we'll be working with the young generation, the young kids with the boxing.
For the past 5 years. It feels that way.
Yeah,
I know, but it's just about a year now since the program took off. Yeah.
Mr. Nehemiah Seja.
I'm not even sure in what capacity I'm sitting here, to be honest.
That's because you have too many.
I'm not sure in what capacity, but I'll just say that I'm a youth and sports advocate. I'm here as a youth and sports advocate. We try to be part or be involved or try to organize as many sporting and youth activities to keep the young people in Soufriere and not just engaged, but giving them an opportunity to get some well-needed money in their pocket. So I'll say that I'm here as a youth and sports advocate.
Definitely. And even with that, we can all agree that the youth definitely are the future, the pillars of society. So it is paramount why we're here today, which would have seen the relaunch of the youth development and boxing program. But interestingly, the relaunch, this is what really captures me. So just share with us. Any individual can just take the mic and just provide an insight.
Okay, so
in terms of the program status.
Mr. Yasha Trubetskoy, in February of last year, came to the Soufriere Fitness Center and presented me with an opportunity for us to partner and pretty much provide an avenue and platform to the young persons in the community, because he was concerned about the tone of social disquiet that was existing at the time. You had rival gangs, you had random shootings taking place, and it was just really an ugly time. And so he being, not as it's proven, not just through this program, but he being a very I have to say, one of the most valuable corporate partners in this community. Anchasney and Jin Mountain, as we could see, has been consistently sponsoring and supporting all kinds of initiatives within the community. And so a lot has to be attributed to the fact that Mr. Trubetskoy and his team are very much concerned about the well-being of this community. So the approach was to have as many kids as possible come through boxing and youth development program before they found themselves as part of the disquiet that was happening. And so this is why the whole program was born. And we have seen a number of kids come through. They have had all kinds of opportunities when it comes to learning and developing within the sport of boxing. However, we are to the point where we would love to see further development where those persons find themselves within a ring and probably get to the point where they are able to develop sufficiently and even become professional boxers. And of course, this is all in the name of giving the youth a genuine opportunity to be meaningfully engaged outside of the unpleasant opportunities which may be within their respective communities.
Thank you so much for that wealth of information. Understanding that program better puts me in a position to ask in terms of the installment aspect of it, leg phases. How would you go about a community approach, or if it's a school level?
Well, it's really a community. It's not about, because let's agree, the average person who is out there, young person who is out there, who is in school, are not necessarily those persons who carry the label of being delinquent. It's usually those persons who have probably just left, or maybe who have left for a few years and they are unemployed. So the program really and truly is geared towards receiving those who are in school and those who are out of it. And we very soon will have a very deliberate way of announcing the program by way of engaging the community and outlining to them exactly how they will come on board, how they will be expected to go through the program, and the further opportunities that are available outside of just the program. Because Mr. Trubetskoy was very deliberate in going as far as telling us that it is not just about the boxing program and keeping the kids out of the streets. It has also to do with, and Shasney and Jed Mountain, presenting them with a genuine opportunity for possibly an internship and even being absorbed into the employment circle.
Thank you so much for that. And even here with the awareness, community awareness, we're hoping that it could actually reach the audience that is intended.
Yes.
Also, the reliance of social media as well, because we also see the impact, the positivity that comes out of social media.
Mhm.
And how else are you going to get the mass or the target audience that you're looking for?
So I don't want to be the one who is consistently speaking at this time, but the one thing I will say very quickly, and this needed to be highlighted from the onset, is that this program is not just tied to boxing. The support that is being provided by Chasney and Jed Mountain includes other sporting disciplines. So the district teams of cricket, football, track and field, basketball are all facilitated through this program by giving them access into the Soufriere Fitness Center in order to give the district team or individuals that competitive advantage that would afford them an opportunity to easier get selected on the national team.
Thank you for that clarity. I was about to ask in terms of how or what is the association with the boxing and the SFC, and even highlighting that there are other sporting disciplines as well, because it can be a bit of a froth when you look and then you see those strictly boxing gloves on the shirt. So you would have the view that, okay, is it just boxing? But then you have highlighted that it encompasses, other sporting disciplines as well. Mr. Seja, I want to ask you, I mean, as someone who has been in that fraternity for a number of years, how does it really sit with you in terms of wanting to see some sort of positive change? I've seen your outcry on social media as well. So being here today is quite remarkable.
We have come from a very long way, youth and sporting, Soufriere. I can tell you, Soufriere has won the Sports Community Award, I think 2 or 3 times in a row at National Sports Awards now, because we seem to be dominating every sport in St. Lucia right now. If we're not there, we almost there. We among the top 2 or top 3 in every single sporting category you can think of in St. Lucia right now. And this is wholly and solely thanks to Anchasne and Jade Mountain. They provide just last night we had a meeting and the gentleman is asking how much more can he do? And I'm saying to myself, with all what you've done, you're asking how much more can we do to elevate not just sports development, but the development of young people holistically in this community. Originally with the boxing program, I have a very close relationship with the president of the Boxing Association, who is David Shakes Christopher. And having a couple conversations with him, he was looking to expand the boxing program beyond just in the city. Everything is up north, up north, up north. And then we felt like, you know what, here's an opportunity to bring some boxing down to Sulphur City. And boxing is not just, and people look at boxing as just violence, basically, just 2 people fighting in a ring. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
It takes discipline. It develops young people,
Patience.
in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
So when he decided he was going to give some equipment to Soufriere to start the boxing program, I remember Mr. Chubesco and I were looking for a spot. We were wondering if we could get an area that we could open up, just a boxing gym. And I said to him, but we are killing ourselves looking for a spot when there's a big enough spot with all the equipment a boxer or a trainer or anybody would need is in the Soufriere Fitness Center. There's enough space. Let me tell you, the space up there is more than enough. So I just told him, you know what, let's just channel this through the Soufriere Fitness Center. The people there are more than capable of running that program, that we would not have to baby it ourselves. So we decided to just go with it, and we want to see more young people in there, more young people getting involved, giving them something that is extracurricular now, and like Mr. Solomon said, that could potentially end up being an opportunity for them to gain meaningful employment or even do great things. St. Lucia right now is doing very, very well in boxing in the OECS and in the Caribbean. We just had a couple boxers go to Cuba and came back with a lot of gold medals in a boxing festival, over there. So for us, it's about developing the community holistically, and boxing is just one of the avenues that we're looking at, and we're happy that the boxing program is moving in an upward an upward way, that we can see more young people getting involved in it.
Definitely. And as you mentioned, holistical development as well, can we agree that it is also a timely endeavor?
Yeah, I mean, one of the 2 gentlemen, I don't know which one, said patience. Yes, it does. It does make you understand that this is not going to be a hurry come up kind of situation. It takes a long time for you to develop proper boxing skills and understand that it's a process. Now, understanding it's a process helps you with holistically, like I said, it helps with everyday living. You understanding that to get somewhere in life, you have to go through the process. It has to be a nice little process that you would appreciate the process that you went through to get to where you want to get to. Now it's our dream, and I can tell you it's Mr. Chubetsko's dream for us to sit there and see one of our boxers representing St. Lucia and giving people some licks so we can shout, yeah, Soufriere. We can shout Soufriere every time a solid punch go down. We can shout a Soufriere.
Yes.
So we want to see more young people involved, and we want to see the progress. We don't want it to be just, okay, they're in the program and they're just there, but we want to see it taking 1, 2, 3 young people somewhere. That's what it is for us.
And if I may just add, while Mr. St. Jean highlighted the participation of our boxers in Cuba and their success, one may ask, and I know that you did indicate that you were not exactly familiar with this gentleman, and the face and name did not entirely ring that much of an alarm bell. But one of the things we have failed to do is to speak to exactly how he became the coach, and to remind St. Lucia and the world that this gentleman was an OACS and Caribbean boxing champ for St. Lucia. So we are here in the presence of someone who has his name etched in the history books. And so to you and to others, he may be a virtual unknown, but to the boxing world, he is somebody who has placed St. Lucia on the map and done great things for not just St. Lucia, but for Soufriere, and more specifically for Jacques, that being where he's from.
Thank you so much. And at that moment, hats off to you.
Can I just, if you don't
stand
mind?
For correction. Thank you so much.
No problem. Can I also add that his grandmother and my grandmother were sisters, so
That doesn't mean you can box. It does not mean that you can box. So let's just get that out.
so that in itself says a lot about our genetic capacity.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So
I
Thank
have
you.
to be careful since all this boxing thing is going around. But then our emphasis, it's youth development, it's this inclusion. And then a lot of the times when those things are happening, I mean, those programs coming on stream, we do not get the persons that are intended. We do not get them. It's not being filtered. So I think a lot more has to be done in terms of making people aware. And social media alone cannot. So there are
Yes.
moments where we have to physically go into the communities
Correct.
to get the messages across. The delinquent communities, as we may know, and a lot of things has been happening on the ground. So again, I implore the importance of this as well. And Mr. Facilitator, there's a lot of work that you have to do as well. And talking about boxing, I love the concept that it's going to be a hand-in-glove approach.
Correct.
Mr. Facilities Manager as well, kudos to everything you've done in so for the impact you've made, but also the work has only just begun as well for you. Coach, kudos to you, kudos to
Thank
your
you.
reign. And then I just love the collab, I love the synergies, but then it is just beginning. And I'm sure at that moment, from wherever he is, may his soul rest in peace, and he's just smiling to see there's some materialization, coming out of those talks. How do you feel in terms of having some light shade on the recent incidents that we've seen? Violence. You do not just wake up today, tomorrow, and then say, suddenly I'm going to be violent, I'm going to chop somebody, I'm going to gun somebody down. Those problems that stem from the home, it stems from maybe the places that you associate yourself with. So what impact or what really will that program help individuals what change can it bring to someone? Especially mindset is also an important aspect you have to consider as well.
Well, very quickly, one of the last things that we should sit here and do is to try to understand why we see certain things happening in our community. More often than not, those things are way beyond what meets the eyes. And being judgmental is the worst thing we could do to young persons. So it is better that we leave certain things to law enforcement or community leaders. And at the same time, take a page from Yasha Trubetskoy and the Anshasni and Jade Mountain Resorts, in that you play your role of presenting a preventative opportunity to get quiet within your community, as in get a semblance of tranquility and peace by giving young persons a genuine and meaningful opportunity to tap into something that is going to help them to not just be occupied, but eventually achieve great things and even be in a position where they could make a livelihood, that they actually get an opportunity to gain employment. And this is the opportunity that Mr. Trubetskoy, Alan Charleston, and Jim Mountain are doing. They are actually saying to you that you're not just coming through the program, but you eventually will have an opportunity to do an internship. And then, of course, once you satisfy the employment demands, then naturally you can have an opportunity to serve as an employee of the establishment. You made mention of the need to reach out and not just go on social media trying to get persons to become attracted to a program of that nature. And you are absolutely correct. And I believe in taking a page from the Christians who go out there and go knocking on your door in order to tell you of God. So if that's what it takes, then naturally that will be a part of our outreach. And like I said earlier, we will be staging some kind of an open day where persons who are interested could come in and get a proper opportunity to learn as to how they could come on board and further benefit from the program. And lastly, you did mention that you're only seeing the boxing glove here, but there's a shirt across that I wish we would have our camera to zoom in on. That shirt is really and truly the extent to which Mr. Trubetskoy and the program is supporting. So it's not just boxing, but it is football, it is cricket, it's basketball, it's track and field. So you were just a little too quick to criticize or almost point to any shortcomings of the shirt that we're wearing. So there are other shirts that speaks to the magnitude of the effort and investment that Yasha Trubetskoy and Charleston and Jim Mountain are putting into this program, putting into this community. It's an absolute blessing, and I cannot begin to shower sufficient praise on this gentleman and his establishment.
Thank you so much. And again,
if I
the
may, Miss-
clarification, thank you for
Yes.
that as well. Just before you continue, someone is asking, is it solely for young men?
It's open to the community, like Mr. Solomon said. We don't expect a 70-year-old gentleman to come in and say he wants to do some boxing,
Yes.
some competitive boxing, but we're going to facilitate you to come in and get in the workout in the boxing, because boxing is not just for competition. It is for recreation, it's for training. Let me tell you, if you want a burnout, if you want to lose weight, I do personal training, and I do a little bit of basic boxing with some of the people that I train. And let me tell you, this is some serious cardio workout.
Yeah.
This is is intense cardio.
It's like military calisthenics.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's open for just about everybody. We want people to come in, more people to come in. So,
but the target is, of course, young
persons.
people. Yeah. Those persons whom we believe may be at risk, or even if they are not at risk, but those persons whom we know that you reside in the community, you're seeing what is happening, you are tuned into social media, and the last thing we want is that you become a part of it. Because a lot of the young persons who are today directly in the midst of this warfare, so to speak, these persons maybe just 2-3 years ago were at school. Those persons were then in the community being very respectful and very model young persons.
Representing Soufriere.
Yes.
Different sports.
Yes, correct. So, and again, this is what really speaks to the value of what and Shasney and Jed Mountain has done to invest in this program, that they actually went into it with the view and vision to try to address a preventative issue as opposed to try to remedy or to resolve conflict as it exists today.
Thank you. And coming at you as well as the facilitator, walk us through the logistics of the SFC and the program.
Let me just make this point quickly.
Yeah.
On what you spoke about. If there's one thing I have always said, whereas some of these like Mr. Solomon said, some of the things that have led to the burst out between people and communities that have led to the violence, we don't know how deep it is and what exactly caused. But in reality, we truly have to understand that the more sporting programs we have in place, the less young people will get involved in these things. Because I can tell you, in 2023, when we won the Black Hat tournament, there were young people who were in a similar gun violence against each other that played the Black Hat for Soufriere with each other and won the Black Hat for Soufriere. Guys who were shooting at each other played that Black Hat for Soufriere and won the Black Hat in 2023 for Soufriere. So in every meeting that we have, we try to understand that not everybody is a footballer, not everybody is a basketballer, not everybody is a cricketer, not everybody can do track. These are the 4 major sports that are available in St. Lucia. So what we try to do is we try to give every young person an opportunity. You cannot play football? Okay, come try some boxing. Let's see how good your hand and eye coordination is. Let's see, maybe you might not be able to kick that ball far, but you can punch that punching bag until it bursts open. Likewise, we have made table tennis boards available. We're now trying to revive a whole volleyball program where the plan is basically to just have as many sports as possible available that young people can channel the energy into something positive. Now, boxing is one of those that is near to our hearts, and we really want to see it kick off and get going. So, like you said, we don't want to just leave it now to hoping that people come. We want to try to reach out to people and get them into the program, that the program can expand the way that we want. We want to be able to say, you know what, one coach is not enough.
Correct.
One coach is not enough. We're going to have to look to another coach and pay somebody else to join the team so we can have 2 free coaches, which is opportunity for employment for other people as well.
Definitely.
So that's what it is for us.
I fully agree. And even before Mr. Solomon at least coming with his comments as well, talking about the expansion part of it, in my mind, I'm actually thinking you can also extend this to your next door neighbor. Choiseul as well would love to have such an opportunity. So we can include, to say, Soufriere and Environ, maybe in the near future.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I am not best placed to speak to Mr. Trubetskoy's vision. I am sure that, one may agree that the community that needs the attention at this time is Soufriere and not necessarily Choiseul. However, in the name of preventative measures, it would be well placed to positively consider extending the program to Swazel. So in that regard, yes, I would say that I would personally fully support a move to extend the program. But I would also like to speak directly to the fact that we would love to get this program here better managed and better flowing and operating before we could probably extend our tentacles. Yes, so the only other thing I wish to say at this time, as it relates to this exact matter, is um, we genuinely want to see young persons um, gravitate towards this program. It is not just it's a genuine opportunity, and if I may use this spot to speak directly to SFC and our collaboration. Um, the Super Fitness Center for many years has been affording a platform to persons who have been placed on trials to represent St. Lucia in different sporting disciplines. And it is sad that, we never got any support for it. However, when Mr. Trubetskoy came on board, he decided that he wanted to lend support and invest meaningfully in that exact regard. And so this is exactly why today you have the Soufriere basketballers, the district team, the football district team, track teams they all have access to the Soufriere Fitness Center. So we are facilitating this partnership and this drive of the Anchasty and Jade Mountain Resorts by providing the platform and house, so to speak, for these young persons to come in and to not just be occupied, but to be in a real way gain a competitive advantage that is going to allow them a better chance to gain selection on the national team, and of course to give them an opportunity to receive and to earn a living, so to speak. Because today we know that at almost every level, sports has money.
Thank you. Someone is asking reiteration for a better term. The implementation phase of this program, they said they may have missed it. So just explain how exactly that program is going to be enrolled or rolled out to an extent.
Okay, so that's a great question. Again, there wasn't an outreach in terms of placing ourselves here and speaking publicly and maybe going as far as launching some kind of an opportunity for persons to come in and making a formal invitation. That did not exist. So this person is correct that this did not happen. However, this is exactly why we are speaking today of a relaunch of the program, where persons have this opportunity to come in and voice interest and fill in the forms, get parental consent, and to be in a position where you learn of the expectations of the program facilitators. You understand the rules, the regulations, and most importantly, you appreciate that all you need to do as an individual is present yourself. So there isn't a payment obligation. You present yourself and you learn of the benefits that are available to you.
With that came another question. Are there any age criteria on who can join?
So we do not have an age. We look at it as a young person's thing for now. So we could safely say there is no hard and fast rule. But I could safely say that, persons who are up to the age of about 20, 25 would be the main target. And I could go further, and if we must be technical and direct or legal, the someone up to the age of 45 is considered a youth. Okay, and so that can be the guiding principle that we use to receive persons. But at the same time, um, there is also something called discretion. And if we must use our discretion in order to facilitate or accommodate someone or, or individuals, then we would be more than willing to do just that. Because let's agree, there are persons who are marginalized, a little older, and they can find themselves on the wrong side of the fence. So if we have the opportunity to help prevent that, then of course we are not going to dismiss this person.
Definitely. And again, we've seen the emphasis is on youth development. So how does that vision for youth development actually support the relaunch of this program?
Okay, so when we speak of youth development, naturally, we are not speaking strictly of the sporting discipline. And this is where I have even more respect and appreciation for Mr. Trubetskoy and his commitment to the program. So the primary intention is not just to help you to come through the boxing ranks. It is to help you to develop a certain level of discipline and even professionalism that's going to force you
Self-control.
to become someone who will in turn go to the point where you have what it takes to raise your own family, okay? And to find yourself in a position where you can now guide other young people around you. So this is the multiplier effect that he's looking for in terms of when he speaks of youth development, he's speaking of putting those young persons in a place where they will find themselves entirely preoccupied with raising their own families, being a model within their own family as we speak, and of course, an opportunity for gainful employment. So if as a young person, you are ticking all three of those boxes, then naturally you would have developed into the type of individual you want in the community, that type of individual who adds value to the community. And of course, you could be an advocate or be seen as a perfect example or model for the rest of the young persons out there and say, hey, this guy was part of the youth development program. And for this, that, and that reason, we could say that he's a perfect example.
Definitely, I couldn't have agreed more. But to Jason Ogis, just walk us through that time where you have been an ambassador to your country as well. What has been in that boxing ring taught you, and even that weight on your shoulder in representing your island?
All right. Boxing is something that when I learned the sport, it helped me develop discipline, patience, and focus. Gain that meaningful experience of social life. Yeah, it's something that develops you mentally and also physically. Back then, when I did or was competing, it was an exciting thing, something that now that I'm thrilled to share and help others out there who wants to develop and see something out of it, So it was something very inspirational. All right.
And of course, sitting here with the thrill and reliving that moment, is it something you would definitely want to do all over again?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. The excitement about it, the moving around and socializing and the competing aspect of it as well. Yeah, definitely representing. Yeah.
Okay, now from this experience, how do you plan on nurturing those young and upcoming talent?
All right. So here the program comes in handy, comes in place where, with the knowledge that I've gained from competing, now that I can share it as a coach, mentor, whatever they want to see me as, somebody to give out that inspiration, and so just being available, and provide that assistance needed.
And I have to
Also-
say that, if I may add, it is really an absolute pleasure just watching how he manages those young persons. The calmness, I cannot always understand it, but as you could tell from his general demeanor being seated right there, he's by nature a very calm person. So these kids, to see the way that he controls them by the very simple manner of enforcing discipline without having to shout or yell or get upset with them, this is phenomenal. And I know very well that boxing in itself is a sport that teaches and forces that very characteristic in any human being, that you have to learn that you don't go into the ring, and it's not because you're going to punch to the jaw that you should lose your cool and begin to punch that person in other places, right? That you
Definitely.
understand that the sport is really and truly, you don't take it personal. It's a competition in the ring, but this individual is not the person who took away your girlfriend. All right. So by itself, it is something where boxing, as we mentioned earlier, does not just teach discipline, it teaches a certain level of wisdom as well. And for him to be consistently sharing that with those young persons, it's a joy just witnessing how it unfolds.
Acknowledging the point that you made, and you've also jumped the gun, because here I was about to ask him in terms of working with young people. There are different personalities, there are different traits that you would have to deal with. How do you do it? And he just answered the question right over the bat.
And definitely, yeah, they are actually a handful. They are different characters in there. And you just have to see everybody differently on their own level and work with them accordingly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And any and everything, there were challenges. How do you, some people crumble on the challenges, and some people work best on the pressure. So what works for you, the pros and cons?
Sometimes the pressure works well. I would.
You heard that, facilitator? Give him pressure.
Yeah. I do not work against the pressure, but work with the pressure. Look at what causes the pressure and target the what causes the pressure. Be kind of not laid back, but observe and then work through it.
Okay. Also, how do you navigate when the persons are actually coming, to, the SFC or those various settings, and the frame of mind, or they're not in the right mindset or frame of mind to actually take on, any of those exercises? What do you do? And I think there are always mentorship, coaching guidance that have been given, even because as a coach you would have already learned each individual, so there are days when okay, that person is at the lowest and whatnot, and you would probably just try to woo them and console or find out what is going on. You kind of maybe build that kind of interpersonal relationship as well, to know
Yeah.
your people.
Definitely, yeah, there is one aspect of it that have to definitely look into. That's definitely one that we work with. It's not just about that individual coming into the gym and just make them do whatever that is. the program, the schedule, you have to understand them on that day, and something that I break down with them and see where they're at. I meet them and I work along with them.
Okay.
If I may just,
Generalizing as well, sorry. We know also Coach is Nimaya. No 2 days are the same. How are you able to relive those experiences? How do you maneuver as well? We know you are a people's person.
is it?
No? Well, he has his people.
Like Coach
Yes, yes.
Ogi said, you just handle each day differently. You, especially when you're in the coaching business, dealing with young people. I have coached just about every single sport in Soufriere, every single one of them. Netball, I have coached Soufriere senior netball team, cricket, senior cricket team, senior football team, junior football teams, female teams, and no day is like the previous one. And in your mindset, you just have to tell yourself, just handle each day as its own day. You don't look at yesterday's events and one thing I have realized coaching young people is a lot of the times the kids you think that are being difficult, a lot of them they're just looking for the attention that they're not getting at home. So they acting up. So you have to understand that, put yourself in their place sometimes. And sometimes you have to tell yourself, you never know what that child went through before they actually came to training. What they had to deal with at home, what they have to deal with their peers. Maybe they've been bullied, maybe they had not had a meal for the day. There's so many things you have to think of when you're coaching young people and dealing with young people, that you have to just tell yourself, listen, just deal with each individual and each day in a whole separate mindset, because you cannot look at everything as a totality. You will always run into problems. So it's just dealing with each one and each person each day separately, and just understanding that there might be something you don't understand about this young person or this young athlete or this young boxer or whoever, that you have to put yourself in a position for you to gain the trust that you can learn to understand who they are, what they are, and what they're about, and what they're dealing with. Because as a coach, it's part of your problem to help them with their personal problems, not just what they do in the ring or on the field or on the court or whatever it is. If you don't help them with what they deal with outside of your training, you're not going to get the output you want in your training. So that's basically how you address it.
That's some strong points. I recommend that for sure, definitely.
Yeah, and if I may just add to the responses that you just got from Coach Jason and Coach Ace. This guy who wears so many hats, I sometimes don't even know what to refer to him as, district rep, everything. So the reality is, one of the blessings that we see around sporting circles, and I'm beginning to speak to my experience within Soufriere football team, being the president of the football association or football league at the time, as well as president of the Youth and Sports Council. One of the best things that we see, especially with the boxing program, you would get young kids who understand the value of what is happening at the time, to the extent that they could actually assist the coach by knocking certain participants into line. So some of their colleagues who may be falling out of line, right there, they would actually reprimand them and try to get them to do what the coach is doing. And that, to me, when you get to that level, you know that you are in a good place where you already have little leadership circles taking place within your program. So already it is bearing fruit, and you know that more than likely that level of discipline is going to escalate and expand and mushroom into the outside community and outside of what you're doing. as a coach. So in as much as it may be difficult, there are young people out there who are participating, who understand to the extent where they make it easier for the coach by literally policing the success of the coaching programs.
Thank you. Someone said great program. I didn't catch everything, but I'm excited as well for that relaunch and did extend kudos to the panel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
17 minutes after the hour of 12 in Surface and Ocean, of course, the Eastern Caribbean. As we wrap up, it's been an interesting segment as well. And I'm also excited for the relaunch. And I can see right here on Soufriere FM, we got that opportunity for that first discourse and turning heads and having questions, concerns, or even comments coming in as well. I wish you well. And I can, on behalf of management, extend to say, do not hesitate. Just reach out. As long as I'm able to, we will continue to provide the support, provide the platform as well, and even bring in a few of the persons to share in their experience as well for this program. Individually, I would want each and everyone to endorse, and then just a little of your closing remarks here today. Because we know that, again, on its own, is not just about the boxing program, it's about the sporting disciplines. Like you made mention, the track and field, the volleyball, the football, and of course the boxing as the highlight as well.
In closing, let me just say that we have a lot of things planned, a lot of things in the pipeline and in the works. We are on a short halt because of the situation of what's happening in Soufriere right now.
When you say we, be specific.
Yes, listeners benefit, be specific.
All right, so I'm saying we as in Anchasty and Jade Mountain. Anchasty and Jade Mountain. I am the one who executes a lot of the sporting programs, well, not just sporting, but youth programs as well. We just collaborated with the Soufriere Youth and Sports Council in doing a youth program in CV writing and just preparing young people for the work environment. We just did a workshop on that with the Soufriere Youth and Sports Council just recently, because like I said to the president of the Youth and Sports Council, we need to do more youth-oriented activities, not just the sport-oriented activities. But we have a lot of things in the pipelines. We have, and most of the things, what we try to do is to give young people an opportunity to make money. We had a basketball tournament that paid off the first place team $7,000 winning money. No, or not even the National Basketball Association called me and said we've tried to make them look bad because for the national tournament you paid only $5,000 to the winning team all over the island, and just a Soufriere tournament we paid out $7,000. So we try to make it an opportunity for young people to earn some well-needed cash as well. We realize that PlayStation is becoming more and more popular. So we have a PlayStation FIFA tournament that should kick off sometime later this month with $5,000 winning money. We have a tape ball tournament that it should be coming up very soon. We wanted to do a futsal, but we are hesitating on the futsal because we don't want the wrong crowds to come and all of that. So we're looking at how things go before we kick off a lot of these programs. So we have a lot of things up and coming. I didn't want to be the one to put it out there, but I can tell you all we are going to sponsor community sports once again. Community sports, that was the most popular thing on the island. Everybody around the island would want to participate in Soufriere track and fields community sports. So look out for that. The president of the Youth and Sports Council has reached out, and we've had a couple conversations on bringing back community track and fields. So look out for that. That's coming as well. So there's a lot coming up. We want the boxing program to be one of those things that we can say, yeah, we did that for Soufriere. And we actually look forward to hosting a night of boxing here in Soufriere with proper rings and proper officials and everything. a real proper night of boxing here. So look out for it. There's a lot that is going to be happening in Soufriere in the next few months. Compliments of Manchester and Jed Martin. But before I go, I just want to remind the public, the Soufriere Titans team, we finished second in the SPL table. So we are playing a semi-final next week, Friday. We are playing a semi-final. We are playing the Castro City Blasters. The winner moves on to the final. We are asking the public to come out. We will be providing free transportation, free tickets into the match because we want the crowds to come out and support our boys. I mean, our boys are doing this without a proper facility to train and play. And they're still surpassing expectations. So we want the public to come out and support them. We're really, really trying. So we want to say that we're going to provide free transportation and free tickets to the show, to the cricket game next week, Friday. It's in Grozile. So we need the support for the team.
Share some love to Black Hat as well.
Oh yeah, Black Hat is coming up. It's this month. There will be games in Soufriere, so you could look out for that as well.
And let me take this opportunity to knock on wood. My KFC basketball team, they're not getting all the love and support as needed, and they've echoed this.
I can assure you they're getting a lot of support from Manchester and Jed Mountain. Every sport get love from Manchester and Jed Mountain. The basketballers, again, we are back-to-back champions. We're going for the three-peat. We've only been defeated once this season, so we're looking to make it 3 in a row. So we have a lot of good things happening sports-wise in Soufriere. We just need the community to show support to the young people, show support to the boxing program. Get your kids involved. Get the kids wanting to do it, wanting to try it. It will keep them away from a lot of things they need to be away from.
Definitely.
I think it said a lot, and I know that we have mentioned and Chastney and Jed Mountain almost 1 billion times since we've been sitting there. But I think it is remiss of Ace to not have let the world know that Chastney and Jed Mountain is in fact who is carrying the cricket team with all the success that they are having. It is in fact Chastney and Jed Mountain who is the primary and maybe the sole sponsor of the team. So again, big ups and kudos to Chastney and Jed Mountain, and of course in particular Mr. Yasha Trubitsky.
And they're about to take on the Soufriere semi-pro team as well. They have basically taken over the Soufriere semi-pro team as well.
Great stuff.
So big things coming up for Soufriere.
Right. So if I may just quickly provide my endorsement to all things youth development and boxing, all things football, cricket. I have to very glowingly shower the praise and respect to Chastney and Jed Mountain as a corporate partner, a corporate entity that is not just going out there and supporting youth development and sports when you call on them. But here it is, this is a corporate entity reaching out and asking you, what can I do? How can I do it? And to what extent? And even when they do it, they're still saying, can I do anything else? So I don't know what we have, but many persons believe that it's a blessing to have the Soufriere Foundation in Soufriere, but I think Chastney and Jed Mountain has really and truly overshadowed a lot that the Soufriere Foundation once did. And that is not knocking on the foundation. That is speaking to the facts as we see them today. What is going out into youth and sports development, it is unprecedented. And it's a blessing, and it speaks to the fact that our young persons have absolutely no excuse but to fully capitalize on those opportunities. And as if it wasn't bad enough, you have an opportunity to gain a competitive advantage by going through the fitness center, developing your quads, developing your back strength, your lower back strength, your leg strength, your arm and shoulder strength, whatever it takes in order for you to gain a competitive advantage on other persons who might be from Babono or wherever else who are trying to get a place on the national team. So again, great and huge big ups to Charleston and Jen Mountain, and we are assuring you that soon and very soon you will see greater and bigger things, especially as we speak to the boxing program, where you will have a ring somewhere in Soufriere. I want to and already think that the mini stadium would be the ideal spot. And at the end of the day, I think this is going to really and truly jumpstart the rightful place of the boxing program and youth development in general in Soufriere.
Thank you so much to you, Coach Jason August.
It was a privilege being here. A privilege being part of the program as well. And boxing, hopefully we get another champion right here from Soufriere City.
I like that.
Yeah,
like
very
that.
soon. Yeah,
I like that.
My turn to say I fully endorse this initiative and support you full-fledged, and this platform right here is available. I am available when needed, if needed. Mr. Solomon knows he could always call on me.
Yes.
Impromptu as well, and I still make it happen.
Jeez, and I appreciate that.
Mr. Franklin Solomon, Jason August, and of course Nimaya Iseja for the work you're doing on the ground. Thank you so much. And of course, our listeners, please take this opportunity to have your young ones enroll in the program, or just the interest of going over to the Soufriere Fitness Center, and maybe just the queries as to, I heard a discussion this morning, what is it all about? Can I be more informed?
Yes.
And I am charging the responsibility for you, not only on social media, but the community impact. Let persons know what is happening as well, maybe even for the town crier as well, even through different outlets, business places, the communities, and let that be the pitch of the day, actually, to get that traction. But kudos to everything that your guys are doing and continue to do. And let's, with that as well, bring in, that spirit of the volunteerism as well, because too many times we want to be involved in certain things, but we believe there needs to be some sort of financial attachment to it. Do it for the love of self, do it for the love of community, and most importantly, do it for #youth development, youth empowerment.
Amen.
At this time, exactly 12:30 p.m. in Soufriere, St. Lucia, and Eastern Caribbean, it's been immense pleasure, gratitude, supporters, listeners, contributors as well, and most importantly, my lovely panel of gentlemen. Thank you. This is where we end our house guest edition for today, Thursday, the 7th of May, 2026. Stay blessed, be productive. We're out.